Right now, as you are watching this video, there is a change happening inside Canada's banking and pension payment system that could directly affect when and whether your May pension deposit lands in your account on time. And the frustrating part, most seniors have no idea it's coming, not because they weren't paying attention, but because no one told them. Tens of thousands of Canadian seniors are still not set up to protect themselves from exactly this kind of disruption. And if you click away before the end, you could be leaving yourself exposed to a delay, or worse, a gap, in the income you depend on every single month to cover your groceries, your prescriptions, your rent, your heat. What's happening in 2026 is catching people off guard. Today we are going to break it all down for you. Clearly, honestly, and without the government jargon. Stay with me. This one matters. Welcome back. Or if this is your first time here, welcome. This channel is called Canada Pension Map, and we exist for one reason: to give you accurate, timely, and plain language information about the pension and retirement benefits that you have worked your entire life to earn. Everything we share here is grounded in official data from Service Canada, from the Canada Revenue Agency, from the actual text of federal legislation. We cite our sources, we check our numbers, and we do not speculate. When Canada Pension Map tells you something is happening, it is happening. So let's get into it. Under the normal payment schedule administered by Service Canada, OAS, GIS, and CPP are deposited on a fixed schedule. For May 2026, that scheduled deposit date falls on May 28th. That is the routine. That is what you have come to count on. Now here is what is actually happening. The Office of the Superintendent of Financial Institutions, OSFI, has been implementing updated electronic funds transfer protocols throughout the first half of 2026. These are back-end operational adjustments to how large volume batch payments, including government benefit disbursements, are processed and cleared through the interbank settlement system. For some recipients, particularly those whose direct deposit information has not been verified recently, or those banking through smaller credit unions or trust companies, there is an elevated risk of a 1 to 3 business day processing lag. Not a cancellation, not a reduction, a delay. And here is the detail that changes everything. If your payment encounters even a minor validation flag, a name mismatch, an outdated transit number, an address discrepancy in your Service Canada file, that delay can push your money past the 1st of June. For someone who pays rent on the 1st, who has $200 left in their account by the 25th, a 3-day delay is not an inconvenience. It is a crisis. Now let's talk dollars. For the April to June 2026 quarter, the maximum monthly OAS for recipients aged 65 to 74 is $727.60. For seniors aged 75 and over, legislated under Bill C-30 and enshrined in the Old Age Security Act, the maximum rises to $800.44 per month. The GIS maximum for a single senior with no other income sits at approximately $1,086.88 per month. Combined with OAS, that is just over $1,814 in total for the lowest income seniors in this country. Every single day of delay on that payment carries real weight. This is where things get serious. OSFI's updated protocols affect what are known as originator to beneficiary batch transfers, the exact mechanism Service Canada uses to push pension payments into millions of accounts simultaneously. For most people at major banks, RBC, TD, Scotiabank, BMO, CIBC, the new verification happens automatically. But for recipients banking through smaller institutions or through accounts set up more than 5 years ago, the hold can be triggered manually. And a manual hold means a human review, and a human review means business days, not hours. But there is something critical you need to understand. This is not irreversible. You can protect yourself. Here is exactly how, step by step. First, today, not next week. Log in to your My Service Canada account at canada.ca. Navigate to the Payment Information section. Check your institution number, transit number, account number. And most importantly, confirm the account name on file matches your legal name exactly as it appears on your banking records. Even a middle initial difference can trigger a verification hold. If anything looks off, the form you need is Form ISP Threat Award 1, the Direct Deposit Enrollment or Update form from Service Canada. You can complete it online, mail it in, or bring it to a Service Canada Centre in person with government-issued photo ID and a void check. Do not rely on your bank to catch this. The verification happens on the Service Canada side before the payment ever reaches your bank. Second, if you are still receiving a paper check, enroll in direct deposit now. A check mailed on May 28th may not reach a rural address until June 3rd or 4th. Direct deposit is free, secure, and faster. Full stop. Third, check your tax filing status. Your GIS is recalculated every July based on your previous year's return. If you have not filed your 2025 tax return, Service Canada cannot properly assess your GIS for the July 2026 to June 2027 benefit year, meaning your GIS could be reduced or suspended as of July 1st. File as soon as possible. The CRA will process late returns. And here is something that acts like found money. If your income dropped significantly in 2025, a spouse passed away, you stopped working, your registered income fell. You may be entitled to a GIS reassessment based on your current year's estimated income. The retroactive payments that result can add up to $3,000 to $5,000 for eligible seniors who did not know to ask. That is not charity. That is money that was already yours and waiting to be claimed. However, this protection is not permanent, and the bigger picture is one every Canadian approaching retirement needs to understand. What we are watching in 2026 is part of a broader restructuring of how Canada's federal benefits system interfaces with its financial sector. The Bank of Canada has been accelerating real-time payment infrastructure through Payments Canada's Real-Time Rail project. When that system goes fully live, it will change how government transfers move, faster in most cases. But the transition period creates friction, and friction, in a system that affects 7.4 million OAS recipients, creates real consequences. Meanwhile, the cost of living is not letting up. Grocery inflation has not reversed. Shelter costs continue to climb. The $727.67 OAS maximum was worth considerably more in real purchasing power in 2018 than it is today. The quarterly CPI indexation mandated under Section 29 of the OAS Act helps, but it measures what prices did, not what they are doing right now. Seniors on fixed incomes are perpetually catching up. Will the next federal budget address this? There is no clean answer. Deficit pressures are real. Parliamentary discussions about long-term GIS sustainability are ongoing as Canada's over 65 population approaches 10 million by 2030. Any shift in the GIS income threshold, OAS deferral structure, or indexation methodology will have immediate knock-on effects for millions of households. And if you live in Ontario, your gains payment is calculated on top of your federal OS and GIS. Any federal disruption can ripple into your provincial supplement as well. So let's bring this home. your OS, your CPP, your GIS. This is not a handout. It is income you earned. Your OAS reflects decades of contributing to this country. Your CPP reflects payroll deductions taken from your paycheck for 40 years or more. This money is yours. The system administering it is going through a period of change, and the only thing standing between you and a disruption is knowing what is happening and taking the steps we have walked through today. Check your My Service Canada account, verify your banking information, file your taxes if you haven't. Ask about retroactive payments. If you want accurate, fast, and reliable Canadian pension updates, subscribe to Canada Pension Map right now and turn on notifications. Retirement policy is changing faster than ever, and staying informed isn't optional anymore. It's essential. If this video helped you today, give it a like. Share it with a neighbor, a sibling, a parent, anyone who depends on these payments every month. They deserve to know this, too. And if you have questions, drop them in the comments below. We read them. We respond. And your question might become our next video. This is Canada Pension Map. We will see you in the next one.